I moved to Alaska in the summer of 2022. I was immediately really excited to be here and do some of the incredible flying that we do, but also initially a little overwhelmed with just some of the challenges that are up here. Some of the amazing things about flying in Alaska are that you're going to fly in the most beautiful terrain that you would see, getting to cover the entire state of Alaska, flying through the mountains, which can be absolutely incredible. And we also have some very significant cases and missions that we do, since the Coast Guard is really one of the only agencies up here. We conduct different missions across the entire state of Alaska, and we do some of the most challenging flying that you can do. I was on duty on July 7th when we got a report that there was an overturned vessel and maybe some people in the water. So we immediately departed with our search and rescue crew, got airborne, and immediately realized that the weather was a lot worse than we expected. It took us longer to get on scene because we had to go a different route because of the bad weather. And once we got on scene, we realized that the visibility was only about 300 to maybe 400 yards. So we were orbiting over the area, trying to talk to vessels and call out to this boat, just while only really being able to see the water below us. When we got on scene, we were occupied with just making sure that the helicopter was in a safe flight path and not going to hit the mountainous terrain that was in the area. We created a racetrack pattern that was over water so that we could cover different portions of the water while we were looking directly beneath the helicopter as we overflew it. We were on scene searching for 30 or 40 minutes when we heard that Sector was talking directly to the survivor on his cell phone. So we asked if we could talk to the survivor as well, since the helicopter has the ability to make phone calls with our satellite phone. And Sector set up a three-way call where Sector Western Alaska, the survivor, and the helicopter were all on the phone together. So that allowed us to talk directly to the survivor and get more details about where he was. Having the survivors on the phone was able to tell us if we were getting closer or farther away. As he was on the phone with us, he was able to tell us that the helicopter was getting louder or quieter, which meant that we were maybe getting to the correct area. It was really powerful and a little emotional to hear one of the survivors' voices over the phone, knowing that there were actually two people in the water and that there was some urgency behind this case. Definitely was a significant impact as we were working to find them. As we were flying toward the position, the other pilot first saw an overturned vessel on her side of the aircraft, and then I saw a raft with two people in the water. So I immediately came into a hover right next to that raft so that we wouldn't lose sight of them in the fog. And once we were down in a hover, we were able to lower our rescue swimmer to the water, who swam over and then was able to hoist both of those survivors into the aircraft. When we landed at the air station with the two survivors, EMS was already waiting for us on scene, and they immediately started checking out those survivors and making sure they got the medical care that they needed. This case was really unique because not only was the weather really challenging, but it also had a lot of different aspects to it, and the command center worked really hard to make sure that they got in direct comms with the survivors and we were able to find them. I love flying and standing search and rescue in the state of Alaska, and I'm really proud of this crew for coming together to save two lives.